hail a beard, it's your boy Big Beard B, and we back for another edition of Big Beard Business. In today's video, we're discussing Office for Men, the lead fragrance from Fragrance One, a fragrance house by Jeremy Fragrance. Since this fragrance has released, I've gotten a number of requests for it, so here are my official thoughts and opinions. Now, before I hop into the review, I was sent this bottle for review, but as always, all thoughts and opinions on these fragrances are my own, so let's get down to business in the office. So what happens when you mix a fragrance influencer, a master perfumer, and an unlimited budget? Well, you get this. And this. You get this. So some of you may not understand why I did that. No one does. But it's provocative. And it gets the people going. So this is the third batch of Office for Men, which you get in this dark but translucent, but more on the opaque side, with a melody of notes on the inside, which include bergamot, orris, ambrox, pink pepper, cachalot, peridazone, musk, patchouli, and an intense wood blend. So what does all this translate to? Well, according to the Fragrance One website, this is a perfectly blended fragrance that suits every environment, not just the office. But anywho, this is supposed to be the embodiment of your inner CEO. Therefore, we should expect it to be strong, fresh, and long-lasting, because statistically speaking, CEOs last longer. That's what she said, and I'm destined to be a CEO. But all jokes aside, we should get a fresh, inviting fragrance with woody undertones and a hint of spice. To me, this one opens up with the Mike Tyson hook of ambroxan. The bergamot is live and well, but I also get some of those woody nuances in that first initial spray as well. Now, I also find this fragrance to be a bit like me in its opening, as it's strong, aggressive, and a bit in your face. That stated, I find the opening of this fragrance to be an agreeable opening, and one that you would find, familiar with the likes of Sauvage. Now, I'm not saying that this one is setting out to be a Sauvage clone, because I don't think that is the case at all. However, I do think that this one does pay homage to Sauvage, but it stands on its own in the space of a competitive landscape of catch-all fragrances. Now on my skin, I don't get a huge change from the opening to the dry down of this fragrance, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, as again, I said that the opening is quite enjoyable. Now some of the freshness does go away as the bergamot begins to fade, but it's still quite fresh. You get some of the sweetness to it, hints of spice, and that woody nuances is still alive and well throughout the entirety of this fragrance. So what's the performance like on this thing? Well, let's see. For optimal performance, according to the Fragrance One website, you should go with 5 sprays. The breakdown will be 1 behind each ear, 1 on each collar, and 1 behind the back, so you can get that back whiff. Now you guys know how I feel about that, but I have my own spraying routine. But for the sake of this review, I went along with the 5 sprays as suggested. All in all, I think that the majority of those looking for a office scent would enjoy this fragrance, and it would garner you compliments, which is an expected byproduct of wearing fragrances for someone like me. Now, when it comes to the price of this fragrance, I think there will be 3 schools of thought. 1, yes, it's Jeremy, of course I'll buy it and feel good about it. 2, yes, it's a fragrance from Jeremy, I want to buy it but cannot afford it or don't think it's worth it. Or 3, I don't care who you are, I'm not spending $180 for a fragrance. Traditionally, in my opinion, those are going to be your 3 schools of thoughts when it comes to a fragrance at this price point, and depending on where you fall, it's just where you fall. Now, in all fairness, the Fragrance One brand is in line with most niche fragrance companies out there today. And in fact, they may be a little less expensive when you think of niche brands, i.e. Creed, you go Killian route. This one comes out to be less expensive. But I think if you were to line this fragrance up with some of its competitors in that catch-off space, like Dior Sauvage, Bleu de Chanel, obviously now Office for Men, this one will probably lose on terms of price points alone. Office for Men is $180 for the only place authorized to sell Office for Men, which is the Fragrance One website. So if you find it anywhere else, website, ask that you let them know so they can stop that immediately. It's $180, but there is a BOGO going on this right now, where if you put 2 in your cart, you get this thing for buy one get one free, which effectively makes it $90 a bottle. I think if you put it in that space at $90 a bottle, and now you reline this one up with some of the competitors out there, the Sauvage, the Bleu de Chanels of the world, then this one becomes a lot more attractive. As this thing does last, it does smell different in terms of the two, and this one does have some great performance. This one becomes a little bit less expensive than the other two, and obviously in most cases will probably be the clear cut winner. But I've never been one to complain much on price, as the good people over at Bentley Motorsports do not care what I think about their price point. But I digress. As the name of this fragrance implies, Office for Men can be worn in the office, and if you can't tell from my review, I think that this one can be worn in many other situations. If you think it's worth the $180, that's on you. That's your choice, not mine. All right. So there you have it. Those are my official thoughts and opinions on Office for Men. I think this one is a solid release from the house. This one definitely performs well, and I'm lucky it did not burn my face off. All right, so there you have it. As always, I'm your boy, Big B. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend that we are back again. You already know what to do. Tell them to hit the goddamn bell.